Hi guys, I just want to welcome everyone to BCYF Marshall. Thank you for being here today. I just want to acknowledge a few people. Some people have arrived yet, others will be coming in, but I'll just acknowledge them now and then maybe later as well. Chief Martinez from Health and Human Services, Deputy Commissioner Chris Viner, who was the main person why this is happening, so thank you so much. Deputy Commissioner Michael Saprizio and Commissioner Morales will be here soon as well. I also wanted to acknowledge Veronica Conforme here from Up Academy. Thank you so much for being great partners. Julia and Mariella are amazing, so thank you so much for that. So now I'm just going to introduce Dave because we're going to move through this really quickly and go from there. So I want to introduce Dave Hoffman. He's the Vice President of Community Engagement for the Celtics.
Thank you so much, Joy. Give Joy a round of applause. Joy works every single day on your behalf, as do many, if not all, of the adults around here. So thank you, Joy, to everyone else that spends so much time, invests so much time. Let's give all the adults a round of applause for caring so much. So I want to very quickly introduce, I think, if my calculations are correct, that there are 2 NBA champions in the room today. And I'm trying to find where they are. I lost the tallest guys in the room are also the NBA champions. So so Leon Powe, who I nicknamed Game 2, because G2 for short, when I'm running out of time. Leon was part of our 08 championship team, 07-08 championship team. And he's going to get a chance maybe towards the end to tell a little bit more about his story. But he took over at different points in the season that year and ended up scoring like 1 billion points in Game 2 and had like 1,000 dunks. And we ended up winning that game on our way to our 17th championship. But your contributions off the court when you were a Celtic, I know were way greater than even on the court, despite that being a pretty high bar. So give it up for Leon Powe real quick. Thank you. And then the other one, Aron Baynes, who's joining us today, current member of our team. Let's give it up for Aron Baynes. Aron is originally from, let's see if you can guess.
Anyone know? Yeah, there we go.
Dallas, Texas, you're right. No. Aron Baynes originally from Australia, went to go play college basketball in the state of Washington, was drafted by the San Antonio Spurs and won a championship with the Spurs, and then went to the Detroit Pistons, and then I feel like we stole you from the rest of the league. And last year was his first year with us, and he's had a heck of a year last year, and off to a great year this year as well. I know battling back from a broken hand.
Sheldon Jones, please report to your bus station. Your bus is leaving. Sheldon Jones, please report to your bus station. Your bus is leaving.
I hope someone finds it. Coming back from a broken hand a couple weeks ago, and so he's still rehabbing, getting close to coming back. Thank you for taking your time to be with us today. Let's give it up for Aron Baynes. And then probably the most athletic person in the room, no disrespect to anyone else that feels like they're athletic, but the best mascot in pro sports, a gold medal trampoline dunker, literally gold medal trampoline dunker, but also one of the kindest, greatest human beings I know. Let's give it up for Lucky. I was hoping you were going to do that. I was hoping we were going to get a backflip. So we're going to get a chance to hang out with them. But before we move on, in a few minutes we'll have another guest coming in, someone that you'll no doubt recognize, and someone that probably is at the top of the mountain as far as adults who are working on behalf of you all every day. We're going to get a chance to see him in a few minutes when he arrives, and I'll kind of reconvene everyone, and we'll get a hello in for him. But before we break out and tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing today, this is just frankly not possible this renovation, this room, this lounge for you all to enjoy is just not possible without you all as young people doing incredible things and trying to push their community forward and trying to learn and grow every day. The adults that care about you at Up Academy and the Marshall Community Center and Boston Center for Youth and Families, of course. And then us at the Celtics, we're really fortunate. We have a whole bunch of friends. We call them fans and we call them partners. And we have a partner in this case, a company that we work with called OPTUM. And I know we have Bob and Jim from OPTUM right over here. Let's give Bob and Jim a quick wave and thank you. Not only joining us today, but inspiring renovation projects like this to ensure that all the young people around have incredible places to live, learn, and play. And so thank you all for that. Appreciate all your support and continued support. What we're going to do for the next 45 minutes or so is we are going to break out. There's a number of really cool things that are part of this renovation project. We have obviously video games. There's like a gravitational pull towards the video games. As soon as young people walk in, they go over there. So there's video games playing. I think there's only 4 controllers, so it'll be 4 of you over there. There's bumper pool and foosball. There's an awesome STEM activity right here, learn how to make circuits, which we have a teacher for as well. In the other room around the corner, there's another really cool STEM activity. And in here, there's computers as part of the renovation and donation. You're going to be doing a scavenger hunt online. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it up to some of the BCYF staff to help break up the students. Let's have 4 people, or 10 people rather, 10 students in combination of the foosball, the bumper pool, and the video games, 10 students in total. Let's do 10 students over here at the STEM activity, 10 in there and 10 in there, give or take, depending on how many adults. And then, mate, if you can go around and just hang out and just enjoy the young people, enjoy hanging out with them. Chip, if you could do the same thing, and Lucky, Jim, and Bob, feel free to make yourselves at home, and then we'll have another guest come in a few minutes, and I'll be sure to introduce them, all right? We can play some music, and let's break up the students. I joked earlier that we had 2 NBA champions. You don't have an NBA championship under your belt.
Not yet. Not yet. It's coming, though. I can feel it coming.
I want to, in a minute, just kind of debrief the activities because I think it's a good way to be able to highlight and showcase the access now that you have in this room as a result of our partnership with the city with all this really cool new stuff that both is fun and also educational. But before I do that, I just want to turn it over to Mayor Walsh, taking some time out of your really busy schedule. What is stuff like this?
Well, thank you. I want to thank the Celtics for being here today, and I want to thank all the partnerships here at this great community center for these great young people in the city of Boston, and thank you for your investment. A lot of times these community centers, they don't run on their own, they run by partnerships, and there's a lot of people in this room and a lot of people that come through the doors that do the partnership, so thank you for being here. It's pretty awesome being between these 2 guys, and more importantly, it's pretty awesome being in front of all you guys, so we love it, and thank you.
Give Mayor Walsh a round of applause. So because the mayor walked in a minute ago, didn't get a chance to see all the incredible stuff that was going on, but also just to give an opportunity for young people to have a platform to speak, I thought maybe there could be a representative from maybe someone that was in that room hanging out having fun that wants to maybe have the courage to stand up and come hang out in front of these folks and explain to everyone what the activity in the other room was like and what are some of the things that they learned from it. You have the courage to do it? What's your name? Simon. Simon. Give Simon a round of applause.
Right there. I'll stand behind you,
Simon. Go Simon.
So what was going on in that room?
In that room, we connected a wire to a computer, and then we used different fruits. Different candies, chips, fruits, and so we used different color wires to connect them, and from that we were able to play on the piano, play different games. As well, I played with him. And it was a lot of fun because I was having fun and getting educated.
Give Simon a round of applause. So Leon was getting what Leon does, which is he gets competitive. That's the only way you win an NBA championship. And so Leon came running out of the room, and he started talking about how he had the best rap lyrics in that room. He was rapping over to the beat of the fruit and all those things. Leon, what was it like for you in that room?
Oh, it was great back there. You know, I was a little hungry, so I ate some of the gummy bears, but it's okay. But he created a beat. A couple other kids created a beat. You know, we rapped about gummy bears, rapped about me being light-skinned, and everything. But I realized I wasn't. But it was fun, all fun and games.
Give Leon and Simon a round of applause. Mayor, I have a quick question for you. You make your rounds. And once you have the seat, you can't stay there. You make your rounds and see a lot of young people doing a lot of incredible things. Folks. The talent of young people in this city is through the roof. Everywhere we go, we see just incredible talent, artistic talent, just athletic talent, all those things. Did you ever think that fruit, and you haven't even seen it, fruit could be used as a catalyst to be able to show off that talent? What are some of the things that you see in the city as you walk?
It's amazing. The young people your age is so much ahead of what my generation was when I was your age. What you can do, the talent you can do, whether it's computers or with your hands or thinking, creativity, all of that stuff is so important. And I see it every single day in our schools and with our young people. Just their ability to just grasp really quickly knowledge. And I think that that's what's special about our kids here in Boston, and across the country, but here in Boston in particular, we're the best. So I want to say to all of you, thank you for what you do, and thank you for teaching us. I mean, I've gone into schools where I've seen wires being connected and creating light and magnets and all the other things that you do in your classrooms, and whether it's science, technology, math, arts and culture, which is something important, and just having that knowledge. So this generation is clearly smarter than all the older people in this room at their age.
Thanks for pushing us. Give them a round of applause. All right. So Simon, in a second, someone else is going to volunteer, and that's when you can swap, okay? So I need a volunteer from someone that was in that room, that was doing some activities in that room. And I saw you and your incredible enthusiasm. Give it up. What's your name? Kiki. Come on up here. Give Kiki a round of applause. So Kiki, talk a little bit about the activities for that space.
We were on the computers, and basically what we did was we did a scavenger hunt, and it turns out that the first person to the person who found the Boston Celtics was Walter A. Brown.
Give her a round of applause. I always find it really enjoyable to hear, especially because most of the time players that are on the team now don't know about this. But there was question number 2. Do you mind reading question number 2 out loud to everyone?
Before the 2003 to 2004 session, why did the Celtics only wear black sneakers?
Ooh, good question. Do you know the answer to this, Mayor?
I know, because I looked over her shoulder. But back in the 82-83 season, I think they wore black again because Larry Bird won it.
Yeah. Aaron, do you know the answer to this one?
We both cheated.
So Leon, you had it. It took a minute to get that. It was buried. The memory was buried down in the depths of the championship brain of yours. But what was remember the context? Can you shed light on it a little bit?
No, it was just because Paul Pierce wanted to wear black sneakers. White sneakers, I mean, and then and so everybody, had to change up the rule.
So there's a little bit to it. That's the gist of it. And then if you take anything away, if you're the best player and you have your number retired, you pretty much do whatever you want. So,
yeah.
But so prior to the 03-04 season, every Celtic in history always wore black sneakers. And no one really questioned that. It was just a thing. It was kind of part of our uniform. And the reason for that was way back in the day, a guy named Red Auerbach, who's kind of the patriarch of the Celtics, who was a coach during the winningest time of the organization and stayed on as president of the GM. they only got like 1 or 2 or 3 pairs of sneakers for the whole season to be able to wear as players back then. Not like now. How many pairs of sneakers do you have in your locker now?
It's one a day if you want.
So that wasn't the case back then. And so Red Auerbach didn't want the Celtic players to look sloppy in their uniform. But what happens to white sneakers when you wear them every single day? They're dirty. And so he thought if they wore black sneakers, it would hide the dirt, and it did for decades and decades, until Paul Pierce said, hey, we have a new pair of sneakers every single day if we want to. Can we just wear white sneakers if we want? And Red said, sure. And then there it was, and it was broken from there. So Paul Pierce paved the way for you guys to wear your sneakers. Let's give Kiki a round of applause. So I want to give the group an opportunity to ask some questions of these folks, but I'm going to start it off. I was talking over here playing foosball with a young person, and they thought that I played for the Celtics, which is laughable. Nowhere near as good or as disciplined as these guys. But they said, I wonder what it feels like to play in an NBA game. You wonder what it was like to play in an NBA game. And so I'm going to change the question a little bit, and I'm going to ask the 3 of you to answer the question. The question is, what's it like to actually live out the dream that you had when you were younger? Right? So that dream, in part, was probably to play basketball for you guys. And so what was it like to live out that dream now or before? And then, Mayor, I know you've been so invested in this city since you lived here way back, and so what's it like to actually do that? Let's start with Aron Baynes, and then we'll move along down the line.
What's it like? So I started playing basketball because my older brother did, and I was the younger brother, and I thought I can be better than him at that. So of course I started playing. The first day I started playing basketball, the first coach I had told me, watch Tim Duncan, and if you can do anything that he does, then you might be all right. So I started watching Timmy a lot, and I was trying to emulate what he did. Obviously, I couldn't do that because he's the Hall of Famer, and I kept working at it every day, though. I always tried to do something that he could do. And then after a lot of years of hard work, I actually signed my first NBA contract. And I walked into the locker room and I sat down across from Tim Duncan as my teammate. And that was a pretty awesome experience for me. That was one of those moments that, I still get goosebumps thinking about it. It was living out a dream for me right then and there. And then to go on and win an NBA championship with him, that was unbelievable. Just be able to have my family around and experience it with me, that's something I never thought in my wildest dreams that I'd ever be able to do. So. It was a culmination of a lot of hard work, a lot of support, a lot of sacrifice, not only by myself, but those people close to me. And, the people, even my first coach who ever told me to watch Tim Duncan was actually able to come over and be a part of that as well. So, it was a lot of people helping me to succeed in reaching my dream. And, I lent on them a lot as well. So, it wasn't by myself. It was with the big support crew, and to this day I'm still thankful for every single one of them, and still trying to go out there and live my dream, which I don't take it lightly every time I get to step on an NBA court. It can be taken away from you pretty quick, so anytime I get that opportunity I'm very thankful, and I try and enjoy it to the most, and that's what I do, and still happy to be able to go out there every night and now wear that green.
Well, thanks for sacrificing all those years, because it's great to have you represent our organization in the city. Give it up for Aron Baynes. You want to go, Champ?
Oh, me? Okay. Yeah, I got you. How y'all doing out there? Y'all good? All right. Well, for me, it's simple. I put a lot of work in to try to get to the NBA, to try to achieve my goals, especially in high school. I came from probably a place where, I don't know if many of y'all been, but I wasn't that good in school. I wasn't that good of an athlete. I didn't really know how to play basketball like that. I got involved with basketball when I watched Duke and North Carolina game. And I found that exciting, so I was like, let me see what can I do to try to get to that level. And then I had a mentor, he came along and said, well, you're getting pretty tall, and if you work hard, you might can get to the pros, you might can make it to the pros. And I was like, for real, they don't miss. So I thought the pros, they didn't miss at all. So I was like, I missed though. I was like, but they don't miss, so I can't get to the pros. He was like, no, they do miss, but you just gotta work and work and work. So what I did was, I got up every morning. I got up early for school, did extra credit, extra work, stayed late, and then got up also working out, like in the gym. Stuff I used to do, just give y'all a little background. I used to wake up in the morning, run the beach, pull sleds on the beach with a we call him Crazy Frank. He'd be on the back of the sled. I got to pull him up and back for about 45 minutes to an hour, and we'd do that each session, and then that was just a small part of it. And so to do that and to try to make your dreams come true, I wouldn't have stopped at nothing to try to make my dreams come true. And what I did was kept working, and then when I finally got my name called and finally got to suit up for the Boston Celtics, it was a dream come true, but it was a testament to all the hard work I put in before, so it didn't come easy, but it just reminded me of if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want to be.
Let's give it up for Leon Powe. Before you weigh in, Mayor, so those of you that don't know about Leon's story, you should look it up. Leon, especially you have computers in the room now, go on YouTube, type in Leon's name, and you'll probably find a video from 2008 that played during the finals. Leon grew up in foster care, and the road wasn't very easy for Leon as a kid, and then as a budding NBA player in college, he had a bunch of injuries, including in the NBA, and he just kind of continued to figure out a way to overcome those obstacles. So thanks for doing that, because we're also really proud that you're part of the Celtic family as well. So give it up.
I want to start by thanking these two incredible athletes that are here today, telling their story and sharing their vision, what they do. And their paths were different, like all of our paths. I just want to start, I love being the mayor of Boston. It's something I dreamed about since probably maybe 8th grade. I wanted to be in politics, and that I got to my goal. But getting there, you heard it here, it wasn't always easy. I wasn't a great student. I struggled. And when I went to school, in high school and in college, I graduated college late. But throughout my life, I always try to be nice to people. I always try to listen to people and stay focused on my goal. And my goal was to get into politics, and that's what I love. And no matter what it is that you want to do as young people, whether it's play for the Celtics or play sports or be a nurse or a doctor or a police officer, whatever it is, the stories are generally the same. You grow up, you make mistakes, you learn along the way, and then as you get a little more older, those mistakes you make and those things you learned in school teach you on how to be able to handle the future. And I would tell everyone in this room, whatever your dream is, don't give up on it. Try, because if these two guys gave up on their dream, they wouldn't be champions today. They wouldn't be champions with the Celtics and the San Antonio Spurs. They wouldn't be champions. They wouldn't be playing for the Celtics now and be connected to the Celtics. And so I wouldn't be the mayor. So it's so important, really, when you think about, as young people, what you do today is preparing you for the future. So if you're in the computer room and you're learning about Leon's story and you're Googling it and you're understanding that you might have something in common with him, see what he did, his struggles were, and what his successes were. And there's so many opportunities there. And I want to thank everyone for being here today, because it is about these guys, and this is the future of our city. We're looking at future mayors in front of us, maybe a president, maybe some Celtics players, maybe some Patriot players, maybe some photographers and cameramen and newsmen and all the professionals in this room today. So you might be in our role someday, or police women. It's important that you remember that. You follow your dream, whatever your dream is.
Give Mr. Mayor a round of applause. Kiki, before I had you sit back down with all the other young people, one of the things that blew me away when I was talking in the other room is I said, what do you love doing? What are you passionate about? And you said, I love giving to others. And that was really touching and inspiring for me. And I want to make sure we recognize you for that. And so let's give Kiki a huge round of applause. You got to see, we'll give the mayor back his seat. And before we transition back to we'll open up some questions from you all. Speaking of giving of others, and I mentioned them earlier when we started the program, but like stuff like this, these room renovations are just not possible for us at the level in which we've been able to do them over the last 10 years without our friends and partners. And man, giving to others is part of the DNA. And so Jim, Bob, and Sophie, I missed you on the first round from OPTUM. Let's give them another big round of applause. Up and inspiring all the things that you continue to do. Okay, we have time for 3 questions from you all. And then after that, we have 2 other orders of business before we break out for the afternoon and evening. Any of the young people have good questions?
No questions? Yes.
Do you guys ever get annoyed when like the lights are on the face? Like when they take pictures of
Oh, when they're taking pictures of us? Not really. It's pretty common in what we do. So yeah, it's fine as long as they take it from our good side.
Which side's that?
Usually when I'm not there.
Go ahead, yep.
How does it feel like to play with Kyrie?
How does it feel to play with Kyrie? He makes the game easier for us. Everyone's focused on him, so it makes it a lot easier for us. So it's always fun.
Do y'all get annoyed by the
Oh, that's too much. Do we get annoyed by the crowd?
Like,
No.
if y'all versus another team and that's their home court and they're saying like boo to y'all?
No, it's fine. It's part of it. As fans, they come out. You know, it's not easy for them playing the Garden either. So it's fine when we're on the road. It's not as bad. We usually have a lot more Celtics fans on the road than even some of the teams have home fans. So it's pretty awesome to be part of it.
Leon's nodding his head over there because I know Leon loved to play in other cities where they were booing him and all that stuff. He seemed to feed off that.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun when you play in other cities. They booing you. I feed off of that. You want to make them be quiet. You want to make them, shut up. And that's what I like doing. And that's what our team usually did when we were in 2008 when we won the championship. We had a saying. So when we go into other people's house and they booing to start, but then at the end of the game they always leave like 6 minutes early, because the game is over with. And so we say if somebody pulls the fire alarm, and that's what we say on the bench with everybody, yep, there go the fire alarm, and wave to everybody by. That's what we do.
Great question. All right, why don't we do both of you with a question, and then we'll wrap up. Oh, we got one more? Okay, we'll do one more.
My question.
Go ahead, Kiki.
My question is actually for Lucky. What inspired you to do gymnastics this summer?
Wow, yeah, I wasn't expecting to get to talk today. It's funny, gymnastics specifically, so I did a lot of different sports growing up. I played basketball, I played baseball, football, ran track, swim team. I did everything really. It was because I could never really find the thing that I, was passionate about. And I found gymnastics my senior year of high school, and I fell in love with it. And actually ended up getting a college scholarship in 1 year of training, and then was able to continue my gymnastics and my flipping at the University of Memphis. Did it for a couple of years, but then I got hurt. I was really sad because I wanted to keep my scholarship, I wanted to stay in school, but 2, I really enjoyed just performing and being in front of people. And so they offered me a chance to be the mascot so that I could keep my scholarship while I healed my shoulder. The first game I performed in front of the crowd, I fell in love with it. And then I started just meeting as many people as I could, I was in Memphis, so I started meeting people from the Memphis Grizzlies and meeting their mascot, and had, training sessions, and he kind of took me under his wing, and I just took every opportunity I could to learn and to meet more people. And then one day I got a phone call, and it was the president of the Boston Celtics. And for the last 10 years, I've suited up here and got to have fun everywhere I go, hang out with awesome people like you, and live my dream. So, yeah, that's my story.
Kiki, you're amazing. You were sensing that Lucky wanted.
Thank you for letting me get involved. I appreciate that.
Amazing. Okay, you have one, and then we'll wrap up with you, okay? Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You're gonna bring us home last, okay? She's gonna go first, okay?
How did you feel going through the process of becoming?
How did I feel? That's a great question. How did I feel going through the process of becoming mayor? It is like being on a roller coaster. Some days you're like really high, you feel really good, you get great response by talking to people, and other days you're going downhill and you're like, oh my God, how come, I don't know if everyone likes me today. That was the emotional side of it. And the other side of it is when I was running for mayor, there were times where I wish that I had paid more attention to teachers in my class, because there were topics in the debates that came up that I wasn't quite, it might not have been on top of the conversation on. And I realized that even though I'm older, you never stop learning. So I always try to read more and prepare more and be ready for it so that I don't get a question someday that stumps me. Good question.
Good question. Thank you. All right, bring us home, buddy.
What do you guys do with your first paycheck?
My first paycheck was $68. That's a great question, by the way. I want to know too.
All right, well, so when I was coming, I was like, you know, when they say you get a certain amount of money, you know, I asked for it in advance, you know, like $100,000 in advance, right? So my check came to me, right? And I opened it, and it was like 50,000. I said, no, I asked for 100. And then my accountant and everybody, they said, no, this is what's subtracted out your check. So you got to budget for all that too. So I was like, oh, okay. So when I got my first check and I got my advance, it was like a rude awakening. Like, you know what, stuff that you got to pay, stuff that you got to take care of, responsibilities and stuff. So I had to learn that, and that's what I did with my first paycheck. I bought a couple things, but nothing too crazy.
It's interesting that, you know, one of the things that we try to teach rookies and stuff like that when they're coming into the league, and the NBA and the Players Association does a really good job with this, is trying to teach the players how to budget. It's called financial literacy. And the younger you can understand financial literacy, the better. And that means that you understand how to save for different things that you want to do for your life, and what money you can spend and what money you should put aside, and how you can help others with some of the money that you have. So it's a really good question, and thanks for the honesty on that one. Let's give all the young people a round of applause here. You want to jump back in?
Oh, I was letting Leon go, then you wrapped it up. I was like, that's cool. So, all right, what I first bought was, I went out and ate. I mean, I played through college. I had no money when I was in college. Everything went towards my rent, books, whatever else. It was, what they gave me didn't really cover anything. You know, if I went to Chipotle, I had to think, can I afford guac tonight? Usually the answer was no. So, you know, I was kind of, I went out, I went to a restaurant, and I said, I'm going in and I'm eating whatever I want tonight. So that's what I did with my first paycheck. And yeah, it was a good night for me. I enjoyed that one.
No one you did they run out of food? Awesome. Do you want to take a crack? $68 or staying with us?
Yeah, when, my first job when I was working, what I used to do with my money when I was younger, I spent it all. I bought nice things, and I shouldn't have. I should have saved some, and I didn't. I didn't listen to my parents. My parents said, put money away, put money away, put money away, and I didn't. And then I started saving money as I got a little older, so. I bought the clothes that were like a style of the day.
Give them a round of applause.
No way to Jordans when I was a little kid. He wasn't around yet.
Extremely impressed with you all, both during the activities and the question and answer period and all those things. Clearly you have really amazing adults around you, parents, family members, adults in the school and all those things, and you all are going to do some really incredible things. And we hope that this space helps you do that. 1, 2, 3.